Hi, it's Tony at Victor Litz Music. I'm going to do a video for you today. Normally I do 3 guitars a day. You can see lots of previous videos if you'd like. But today, in the need of time, I'm going to do the entire wall of, or at least this rack, full of Yamaha guitars. I'm going to cover small ones, full-size ones, classical nylon string and steel strings, and even the one that's got the built-in effects. So, if you like the way we do the videos, I talk about them for a couple of seconds, bring them up close to the camera, and then move on. When I demonstrate them, I can strum them, but this microphone system seems to give some weird flanging sound or a phase shifter sound. But pardon us for that, but here we go. These are a little 3/4. They call it 3/4. It's much smaller than a 3/4. But APX T2E. They call it 3/4. I have to argue it's smaller than that, but excellent travel guitar, excellent kids guitar, acoustic electric guitar. It's got a built-in tuner, and it comes with a gig bag. We happen to have them on sale right now, but who knows, after you watch this video, the prices could change because of all the tariffs that are making changes so rapidly. We think Yamaha's gone up 3 times in the last few months, but there's a little tiny, they call 3/4. I'm going to call it about a half-size guitar. This particular one has a pretty neat finish on it. How they came up with that, it just turned out that way. Every guitar's got its own little personality, and you can see the finish. I won't go through every one of them this closely, but this one was worthy of showing the finish on it. Thought it was pretty neat. I have to roll them around a little bit so you can really see them, but here's your output jack and battery. Comes with a strap button, electronic tuner built in, volume and tone, acoustic electric, white binding on a black back and side, with this natural top that's got quite a bit of character to it. There's the Yamaha headstock. And interestingly enough, they do a vintage style tuning gear. Okay, small little guitar. All right. There it is in sunburst. Here it is in straight natural. Let's see what the first one was called. Cutaway acoustic electric thin line. It just says natural. So it happens to be a different colored natural one. There's only one of a kind then. That's your regular natural. Again, high gloss, natural finish, black back and sides, white binding, vintage gear, acoustic electric, output jack, battery cavity, and then a built-in tuner to the electronics. That is those 3. Moving right along. This is more what I would call a 3/4, but I think they're referring to it as full-sized. APX 600s, all right? APX 600 thin line, $339 guitar. A big expanded electronics package will show that to you up close. A bit bigger of a guitar, real pretty sunburst, oval sound hole, neat abalone inlay all the way around, binding on the neck, top, back, sides, a better tuning gear, and an interesting battery placement. So here's your output jack that doubles as a strap button. There's your electronics package here, which does have a built-in tuner. Looks like it's a fancier tuner. And low, mid, and high 3-band EQ, tuner, a volume, and then there's a amp, 80 to 10K. So there's a volume here, and maybe that's a volume. And the battery access is all the way up here. That tuning gear back here. That headstock and logo. Okay. That's what the APX 600s are. That was a regular sunburst, if you ask me. They could call it brown or cherry or something. But here, Oriental Blueburst. Okay. There's this guitar and that finish. So it's at APX 600 we just talked about. Same electronics package, battery cavity, output jack down here that doubles as the strap button. And I'd say this one's good and dusty. So there's the guitar, headstock. We'll roll the finish around a little bit so you can see it. All right. And then there it is in natural. I'm moving rather fast on these today, just so I can get through the whole rack of Yamaha and be done with it. I don't have to do it for 4 days in a row. I got tired of those on the last batch of Ibanez acoustics, but there's your natural acoustic electric, much cleaner guitar. That blue one is dusty. So, tuners, battery access. These are all a little bit thinner guitar. And then interesting, APX 600s do not come with a gig bag, where the little tiny smallest ones do come with a gig bag. It's a nice travel bag. So then there's the tone controls, battery and tuner. The battery's up here, but all the electronics with the tuner built in. Again, oval sound hole with abalone inlay all the way around it. Very nice. Okay, now, if you know guitars, you'll get it. If not, I'll try to explain it. Okay, this is a Dread Junior. Let's go back to this. Here's a small guitar, APX. This is a Dreadnought Junior. This shape of guitar, not size, but this shape of guitar is the most popular guitar that there is. Martin invented a Dreadnought body, and it has stuck since the 1920s, I suppose it was. And that is the most popular shape. This is scaled way down, so it's a Dread Junior. There is Yamaha's own design, so to speak. I couldn't tell you. That doesn't really emulate or copy any Parla guitar or anything. But the Dread Juniors are really, really cool. It's got that look, but it's got the sound. And let's see. Not in tune, and/or I know the microphone's just going to flange anyways. But this Dread Junior comes with a gig bag. Money is 179 bucks. And this is a vintage natural color. My first FG 335, not an ES 335, but an FG 335, 1972, 73, whatever it was. That was this color, this shape, this design. Maybe that's why I'm fond of them, but I think they're neat. One of the better acoustic guitars you could buy for beginners and or travel. No pickup, no electronics, mahogany back and side, aged natural top, kind of an amber color, and back to some vintage style tuning gears. And a traditional Yamaha headstock instead of the other ones, the first ones I showed you have their own unique headstock, but this is a traditional Yamaha headstock. There is the FG Junior, natural sunburst. Cool. Next, FG 830. Here's a regular full-size Dreadnought guitar. Best guitar under $500 you can probably buy. FG 830s, very similar to what my first FG 335 was, but full-size Dreadnought, solid spruce top. Believe it's laminate. I don't think it's solid woods. Rosewood back and side, mahogany neck, better tuning gear, and just that big sound. No electronics, nothing special, nothing fancy, just a full-size Dreadnought with a solid top. You can hear the boom. Sounds like a Martin guitar because it's a Dreadnought. And Martin guitar is my favorite guitar, but it can be big money. But the Dreadnought shape is what we're looking at there. Full size, natural top, rosewood back and side, solid top, rosewood bridge, binding on the neck so you don't get the fret sprout, rosewood fingerboard, and they do a laminate rosewood on the headstock faceplate with binding. All right, no nonsense guitar. That'd just be great if it done in a cherry sunburst. Yep, there you have it. Cherry sunburst. I want to say FG 335, but it is not a 335. It's an FG 830. And look at the rosewood. Look at the wood grain. And it's a Dreadnought. It's got the boom of it. Two-piece book match. Talk about that. Hopefully I don't insult anybody's intelligence when they're listening to these videos, and maybe some people appreciate it and they get some knowledge out of it. But solid woods or laminate woods, what they do for a two-piece book matched, you got to imagine this is a solid piece of wood here, sliced down the middle and peeled open to make it like a slice of bread, book matched. You can see the wood grain on two sides. That's to give you even tone from this side to this side. It's all equal, which is very common. It's not like, wow, that's outstanding. That's the only guitar in the world that does that. No, almost all guitars do it this way. But it is starting with a piece of wood, slice down the middle and open it up. Even if it's the laminate for the look or a solid piece, they're going to do that on the top and the back where it's a two-piece book matched. Okay? And the top of this is not, it is absolutely book matched. Look at these two lines of wood grain here and two lines of wood grain there. But when you look inside, if you can see inside, you see a dark rosewood. That is a rosewood back and side guitar, FG series, that headstock, binding on the neck, rosewood fingerboard, just a super clean guitar. All right, next one, please stay tuned for the last one. It's got the built-in effects and electronics, but you'll hear the electronics on it. I'll make sure my microphone doesn't flange on that or somehow. Here's a solid cedar top classical guitar. Classical guitar being nylon strings, wider neck, slotted headstock, wide nut, strings tie here. Okay, cedar top instead of spruce, mahogany back and side, but being a solid top, you know, gets it out of that $200 range. It's $300 and $400, but perhaps you would take a, you know, junior college classical guitar course. This would be an ideal guitar for something like that. Okay. Campfire guitar, camp counselor guitar, just an upgrade from the $200 cheapies. And the last one, and how about that? I've done all the Yamaha acoustic guitars, at least on this rack, all in one day. Hallelujah. So, there's this body shape. It's got an FG headstock, but FSC TA, Transacoustic. This Transacoustic guitar is before Lag came out with a looper guitar, and then they went and did a different thing. But let me demonstrate this real quick. I'm going to hold this button down. That's the chorus. Hear the reverb. That's the Transacoustic. This one doesn't have a looper in it. I'm going to leave it at that. We've got an employee at the front door. Got to run. This is how you turn it off. Just hold that down and the electronics are done. We are Victor Litz Music Center in Gaithersburg, Maryland. Please call us if you have any needs. Victor Litz Music, Gaithersburg, Maryland. We thank you for checking it out. Have a great day.